you could just start by talking about the night that Thomas Price had and how much did that in the final result?
Well, certainly, I thought he was excellent, especially in the third. I didn't think the first two, there was a whole bunch of, real chances both ways. Probably we might even have the majority, more of the real chances, but certainly in the third, they pushed hard and he made some outstanding saves there. Made the big save in the second there away the turnover in the neutral zone as well. So Grace was a big piece of the win tonight for sure.
Your power play was really good in preseason and now carried over into the regular season. What's turned the corner for that? Why is it clicking away?
Well, I'd start by saying obviously it's a real small sample size, so we'll keep working at it. I didn't think it was great the other night. I thought it was good tonight. So we got to keep proving it night after night here. We got a lot to prove before we start talking about what's how it turned the corner. To be honest with you, I think that Zadina's been good on it. I think Veronic's been good on it. I think Sai's been good up top. I thought Ross was good up front there. So I think that unit had some mojo going tonight. Ultimately we want to get two units going at a high level, but you got to do it night after night in this league. You can't do it one night and not the other night.
It's a very tight hockey game. Outsider leads you in minutes when it comes down to minutes down the stretch. What's he showing you so far? He's getting that kind of trust. He's earned some trust coming into here in the first place. With his game at the different levels he's played at, and I just thought he did a real good job. He's a gamer. He's a guy who I think wants those types of minutes. He's big. He can defend and he can play offense. So overall, he's done a good job. He's going to have his growing pains. He's got a little learning to do, but in the meantime, we're going to keep putting him out there and let him learn and go through the trials and tribulations that young players go through. Excellent.
Yeah.
Next, we go to Max Boltman.
I think we're going to look after each other for sure. And, there's always a balance between, looking after each other and keeping your emotional control. And we're certainly teetering on the edge there for a little bit. I understand why, when you see your teammate get hit in the head like that, I think it's a pretty natural response. So I think we got to look after each other, number one, and we got to care about each other, and we got to find ways to make sure that we're sticking up for each other. And then you got to do that within the context of winning a hockey game. And when I had conversations with guys on the bench to say, hey, listen, we got to focus on winning the game, they were good about it. And I thought we did a better job as that period went along to make sure we did that.
And how about closing out?
Yeah, I thought the penalty kill was really good actually. I thought our PK forecheck was real good. I thought we made good stands at the line. Pedersen's a hell of a player. He's going to find his way in sometimes. I think we can be better in our 5-on-6 still, so it's something we got to work at. They got a couple of real good looks out of that, and Gracer had to be great. Certainly the goalie has a huge impact on the success in those situations. So, overall, again, I thought, there's things we got to get better at. But we want to learn these lessons while we're winning. I mean, that's what I was disappointed with the other night. We don't want to be a team that's close, and we want to find ways to win hockey games, and we found a way to win tonight. And certainly, Grace was a big piece of it.
Next, we'll go to Ansar Khan.
Yeah, Jeff, I know you'll take goals from anybody, but it's especially nice seeing a guy like Zadina score early in the season to boost his confidence a little bit.
Offensive players feel better about themselves when they score, and certainly he probably as much as anybody, as I talked about earlier, at times judges himself too much just on goal scoring. So for him to score, that's important. Like I said, I think he's done a good job in that power play. I think he's found a little bit of a home there, with that unit. And so I think it's good for him to score.
And also, a guy like Lindstrom, who had to battle to get in the line up here in a crowded defense. Just what are your impressions of his first two games here? He's got a couple of assists, made a nice play on that first goal to keep the puck onside.
Well, I think Lindy's a good D, but I think we got 8 good D, and so it's going to be competitive back there. I think Lindy is big. He's learning on the penalty kill, so. He's going to make some mistakes as a young guy, but again, similar to what I talked about with Sides, we're going to live with some, and you know, and as long as he's progressing. So, you know, I think Lenny's done a good job. He's a good defender who I think makes a real good first pass. Those are guys who are valuable in this league.
Thanks, Jeff.
Next, we'll go to Ted Colfin.
Hey, Jeff, with the Larkin thing Thursday and then Zadina tonight, is that something you guys just going to monitor here going forward? I mean, coincidence or just keep an eye on it or what?
Well, I mean, there's not much we can do about it. We got to play and ultimately, react based on looking after each other and winning a hockey game. So, there's not much we can do about it.
Hey, Jeff, a guy like Greiser, how do you kind of monitor how much you're going to play him? It seems like as long as he gets a little bit of rest or whatnot, he seems to thrive in that type of situation. Is that a guy do you have to monitor play him?
Well, the time when Greiser struggled last year was when Bernie was out and he ended up playing too much probably. And I think Greiser's a guy that with enough rest plays really, really good hockey. I think he's done it throughout his career. That's what his numbers say. And obviously it doesn't get easier as you get older. So I think when you kind of do that on a consistent basis, it says that's how we should kind of deploy those guys. We feel like we want to have a really good goalie tandem. And we want two guys that on any given night can give us great goaltending, and we'll keep working towards that.
Thanks for this, Jeff.
Yeah.
Next, we'll go to Helene St. James.
Jeff, are you a little surprised that both of these early two games have been so chippy? I mean, you haven't seen Vancouver in a year and a half. There's no recent history, like if it was a playoff series, for example.
I think it speaks a little bit to the competitiveness of our group, the competitiveness of their group. I thought on a tough back-to-back and a real tough stretch, actually, I thought they played excellent hockey. I think Travis Green's a real good coach, and he got them playing excellent hockey. And I was impressed with the way they played on a back-to-back. They play with a little chip on their shoulder, and we want to put a little chip on our shoulder. And when you get a chip on your shoulder, sometimes things like this happen, and that's fine. We want to make sure that we're playing with that highly competitive nature, and I think that's the way we're going to be successful, is to make sure we're super competitive.
Do you like the message it sends to? I mean, just Michael Rasmussen tonight getting involved, just that everybody, even younger guys who don't have a lot of experience, jump in and are willing to say, you can't do this to one of my teammates.
100%. You only win when you really care about each other. Like when you really care about each other and you see something happen to one of your teammates, you get even at times over emotional. That's the reality. I'm guilty of that. When you really care about guys, that's the reality of it. So I'd rather have that than have guys that that don't like each other. We got a whole bunch of guys that care about each other. We want to be a unit that does that comes every single day and fights together and wins together. So that's what we want to be about. And by fight, I don't mean literal. I think fighting to find ways to win hockey games. And I think we've done a good job over 2 games so far in terms of competitiveness. Do we need to be better at things? 100%. We've done a good job from a competitiveness standpoint.
Thanks.
Yep.
That's all for us tonight. Thanks, everyone, for